All right. Are we good?
Right. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're rolling.
Can I be vaping on this?
Sure.
Fuck it. All right.
Yeah.
Vape it. Just try not to. No,
I'm blowing it right out in the fucking camera.
You're good, bro. You're good.
Fuck it.
Don't say fuck.
Oh
wait, no.
Do we need the sign? Hey, we need the sign.
We need a sign. Where's the sign? I got to be reminded not to say fuck on
on a microphone.
Actually, you can say fuck here all you want. I'm just going to bleep it. But I couldn't,
all right.
I couldn't bleep it quite fast enough when you said
We're going to have a lot of bleeps.
Yeah. You're going to bleep this whole episode?
Caden doesn't even know that he did. Anyway,
You're gonna bleep
I
this
think
episode?
it would be hilarious at this point in time because we've
Just-
only said fuck 19 times.
Let it roll, Kenny. Don't worry
right.
about it.
Like
18 of those have
ICP,
been
I'm going to say
Brandon.
fuck
Yeah, I'm
93
One to
times
Kenny.
during this
Yeah.
thing.
All right. Hey, if you're watching home, are you good, Rudy? Are we good? Okay,
Yeah,
here we
it's
go.
recording.
Welcome to the full Boogie Tilt Podcast. We are in Tremonton, Utah. Just got done with the show. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're listening on Spotify, welcome. Cool. Well, thanks, guys, for being here.
Well, this is our first YouTube podcast, actually, together.
Second.
It's usually you and Dawson. Oh,
No,
yeah,
no.
it is.
We
sorry.
did one in
Yep,
Idaho
I remember
Falls.
that now.
Come
Sorry.
on.
Kenny.
Come on,
My
Kenny. Wow, what a show, guys, huh?
Oh, epic. Oh, by the way, I would like to, on behalf of Jacob and I, welcome you all to Tremonton, Utah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
The only place, the oldest fairgrounds in the state of Utah, by the way.
The Box County?
Box
Elder, excuse me?
Bucks Elder. It's like the
You'll
bug,
get it.
right?
It's fine. I can't count down.
I feel like
from
it's
10,
like the
so.
bug. Like
Yeah.
this, like the nasty little bug.
But they're also trees, which I believe
But
it's
are there
named
bugs
after.
here? Or there's those bugs here?
Oh, yeah.
No,
tons
there's
of them.
not like in Havasu.
Oh, no.
Those
Yeah,
beetles?
no,
No.
that was terrible.
Oh, guess what about that? Which totally, why don't we start completely off topic of a monster truck show? One of them managed to get in my backpack,
No, they didn't.
and I get back to the trailer in Idaho Falls. I have a house, but
That's
most of the
grody.
time I live in a trailer.
Hey, me too.
And no, I get my computer out and everything, and I start editing, and I'm like, one of those little
Did you get bit?
suckers are.
Did you get
No, did they bite?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Justin
Oh, yeah.
got a
They
nice
bite?
welt on him. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Justin
my.
got a welt on him like that.
Oh,
On his
dude.
back.
Dude, when I was taking a shit in the bathrooms, dude, they're dead everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. So that was a little.
This
yeah.
podcast is rated
R.
M
M?
for
Mature.
MILF. Oh no,
mature.
for mature.
A for
yeah,
adults.
sorry.
You know what? That's a hell of an intro. Kenny. Oh, you're right there.
Why don't we go ahead and start the show?
Roll the intro. All right, so
I thought we were
yeah,
already on.
yes.
Oh, you're
but
gonna
we,
love
we-
this.
all
we-
right.
Oh, wait.
we just listened to the intro.
Oh, I need the video version of that.
I'll
to
send
put
it to you.
on
Don't worry
YouTube.
about
Okay, cool.
This
Um,
feels like a Beckley show.
Stop it!
Did
Hey,
you
not
just
even
say
Get that
that?
shit
Not
out of
even
here!
close.
Get that shit out of here!
This guy doesn't know what
Wow.
he's talking about.
Wow, that's messed up. That's messed
We're
up.
having fun and loving
That's
life
met
here.
that
Not-
man for sure.
I think I might need a defibrillator now.
We're joined on the show today by Jacob Ladwig of Rat Attack Monster Truck and Brandon Swick with Geronimo Monster Truck. And you will get a little one-on-one time with Josh Baumgartner as well here in a little bit.
Absolutely.
He'll join us in a little bit. We're
The number one Bigfoot driver.
the Bigfoot driver.
Bigfoot driver.
Putting the big in foot.
Way to go.
He's got big socks too.
You got him fired.
Scott,
Way to go.
well,
So-
I'll go there.
So we're in Tremonton, Utah. Just got done with the show here. One of two. Incredible show. Y'all performed some good shit.
So this, I just want to point this out really quick, and because most of the drivers are within earshot. My brother was here because
Yeah.
I used to live just over the mountain from here, and we have had, like, these have always been our best shows.
Yeah.
So everybody that's ever come here has driven their ass off, and they have always been epic. And my brother's been at every single one of them, and he's like, "This is a whole nother world."
Yeah.
And that's what you guys brought to the table. Just so you
Excellent.
know, like
That's
that's
just the first night.
super cool.
It's just the first
Yeah,
night.
dude. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. You guys were freestyling. I was like, Dad, these motherfuckers know it's night one.
Right?
Justin, where are you? He's over there. He can't hear. He fucking 4 minutes. I had him to the red light. I was like, red light.
It's time.
Well, I know.
He's about to run out of
I had
methanol.
Pull up Bigfoot so I could get the idea. Like, hey, bro.
Dude, it was a killer. No,
It was
good performance.
absolutely epic. And
Yeah. Dude, all the shows this year, though, have been just bangers. All of them.
the culture is there,
Yeah.
is what we talk about. To use Caden's word, the culture is there. Like, everybody's driving for the same thing. Everybody, like, what we do, we're doing for the same thing. And just everybody, it feels like everybody is signed up and sees what that we just want to show people a good time.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah.
all have it to a degree. We have our own politics and everything like that, but we just brush them off
Yeah.
and we go for it. And
we're a team, baby.
That's right.
that's just it.
Yep.
And
So good.
So good.
it's synced up.
Okay,
Yeah. No,
there you
I know. I'm well, I don't want to put anybody down because again, these have always been our best shows. So just case in point, really quick, I can't remember what year it was, but Zach Jensen in his kamikaze in the train that we do to close the show. Jacob was here.
Full send.
Full
send.
tabletop.
Like
That's Zach, yeah.
all
You're like,
four
what
tires.
are we doing?
like landed it, and he won freestyle and cried. But it's like
Cried?
that was the end of
It
the
was like
show.
his first win.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sad
And he was
about
so emotional about it. But
Yeah.
seriously,
That's
we're like, folks, that wasn't the free. How are you going to tell fans that?
Yeah.
I mean, he had to have.
that this grown
The,
man.
the train
grown, bald
wasn't the
man is
freestyle,
crying.
I promise.
Crying like a baby.
It was epic. But again, I mean, this just seemed to have topped everything because
Yeah.
all the trucks came out running. And yeah, it's cool when a truck breaks. It's cool when you have it roll over or whatever. But the momentum of the show always seems
yeah.
to be the thing that sells the show, from my perspective.
Well, and what was cool about today is that we also had, the truck and tractor pulls. Well,
That's
just
so
truck
cool.
pulls.
Yeah, I
but-
know. I struggled with that.
Dude, that was pretty sweet. And dude, that is so from hook. I was timing it from hook to hook. They were at 4 minutes 15 seconds. Like from go, stop, pull back, hook, and go. That is cooking. Because
it is.
Because truck pulls, dude, they can take a minute.
Right.
Sometimes you're like fucking 9 minutes in between hooks. You're like, dude, we got
Right.
60 hooks. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But tonight, dude, those guys were on it. They were just on it.
And they all
were.
had good pulls, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude,
yeah. It was
Did we
cool.
get a full pull tonight?
Not quite. No,
Almost.
Brittany nailed it. No, she was 277, I think, but she
Oh,
beat
shit.
everybody by 15 feet. And
yeah.
Dang.
any pulling nerds out there, she's the only one that had a horrible start,
Dude.
bounced, bucked, let
I
out
thought
of
she
the
was gonna
throttle,
stop.
dropped it again.
And, then
beat
said,
everybody.
To hell with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full boogie tilt.
Yeah, dude, that was gangster.
There you go. Well, I feel like we're taking up all the time, and we're not talking to Jacob and Brandon very much. We're not letting them talk very much.
That's okay.
Are you
So
telling-
what do you guys want to say?
Tell us your life
man.
stories.
Well, Jacob keeps talking about all this. I don't care if I win stuff, but he's always out here
No.
laying the hammer down.
I think my favorite thing is to
Putting the
see
heat
Jacob
on
go out like
everybody.
third because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yep.
Well, I know. Yeah, he came out and hit it so hot in third, and then I had to follow that up, and I was like, God, my shit's
Yeah.
gonna be on
Well,
fire by the
that's
time
exactly
I'm
how
done
it
with
is.
this.
And then we're going to get Josh's perspective of both you assholes in a minute.
Jacob, you hit this like the second or third time you hit this so fucking hard. Like I was like, first of all, when you're in the booth up there, it's kind of scary because you don't see anything, and then you just see a fucking monster truck like 15 feet from the window, like sending it.
I was so
but you
excited
landed like
for you to
way out here. I was
experience
like,
that.
oh shit.
That's just Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah. Come back tomorrow.
Oh, by the way, Josh, you're just a little fat. We'll talk about that later because I got alcohol in my eye when
Hey,
you
man.
hit that jump next to. That's how close it is to the announcer stand.
I was just say he's working out. Leave him alone. Don't say that. Don't be mean. Don't be mean to Mr. Bigfoot.
I apologize.
Anyway,
No, that's what it's all about, though.
Yeah.
It's- Yeah, like Brandon said, I give two craps to win. It's not about winning. I don't get paid anymore to win. I just remember all the shows I go to as kids, and it was like year after year, crappy trucks would show up, and trucks wouldn't run and everything else because of elevation and stuff like
Right.
that. And I always told myself, I want to make sure I know how my motor works, so I know wherever I go, it's gonna run.
it's gonna run.
Well,
So
fun
at
fact.
the end of the night, I care less if I win. It's cool to be competing against with all these guys. Like Brandon said, he's like, "Oh, maybe you should have won freestyle night." I don't really care, man.
both of-
Everybody
both of you
had
guys
a
have
great
done
time.
that.
That's all that matters to
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the funny thing is about it is the fans like what the fans like, and from town to town, it's a completely different story. And we do, contrary to what you guys might think, we do our best to. And I am deaf, by the way. And depending on where I'm standing in the arena, is like I'll get a completely different outcome than anybody else on the cheer off. But we want to be fair more than anything else.
Yeah.
And if we're going to leave it to them, we're going to that's the decision. But you guys both have gone, well, how did I win that? You guys have both been on the mic and go and tell the crowd, I think that so-and-so got robbed. I've heard you both say that about numerous drivers
right.
or whatever. But that's also the cool part about it too. Like you guys, that is how much your personality counts.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get that across to certain drivers.
Mm-hmm.
That you can drive the balls off anything, but if you're a dick,
Yeah.
you're not going to be a winner.
It's that.
How did you treat people in pit party?
It's
Honestly.
It's that being humble, mindset of like we're all just here to do our job and have
Yeah.
fun.
that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
I've always had the thought of, like, if you have to act cool, you're not cool.
Yeah.
And people will remember you way longer if you're just like, a star to them, but just come off as like the super cool guy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you know where that really shined is last weekend when we were in Havasu, when we had all those like 90 kids come that morning, and to see them all like hop from truck to truck, and you guys were like, answering questions. We talked about this on the last episode.
Nobody told you guys what to do.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
With drivers.
Yeah, that was cool. Well, it was fun, and dude, those third graders are gonna remember that field trip forever.
Man.
You know what I mean? That was rad, like, to see that. But it's also because you were saying, like, that culture of like, yeah, this is what we're trying to do here. Like, the tour is different, it's fun, every weekend's different, and every crowd's different. Like, every crowd we performed in front of has been just
very diverse.
I mean, honestly, I think the Mona crowd is probably the loudest one we've had.
Oh my gosh!
And
for the least amount of people,
right? Exactly,
because Kennewick was sold out, and
they were
rowdy.
They were pretty rowdy.
But to be downpouring rain and Mona, and we had it was started off good, but then by intermission,
we had
half the people left.
It was like 1,000 people.
The rest of the people that were still there,
but they went to their cars and they were watching from the parking lot.
Yeah,
that's what was rad. I didn't know about that until after the show.
A lot of them,
And then they came back for
they
just stayed in the car.
Stayed in their cars and watched.
Oh my gosh!
Because the parking lot's like right there.
I had no idea.
Well, like I said, I mean that's the first time I've ever said fuck on the mic. Literally the crowd was just so awesome for hanging out in the rain.
I am so glad Caden doesn't listen to this podcast.
They had me like so pumped up. I just like
and the whole
totally spaced
exactly.
it. It was
but
crazy.
The thing about it is too is of all the states to do that in too. Like we just moved past it.
Yeah, you got away with it in Utah.
And that's the thing. And it's so funny because me and Tyler were so simpatico on this. Like he's just like, just move past it. Just move past it. I'm like, I rub my forehead,
dude.
And
but
that's all I did.
They went wild. It's like the first time they'd heard that word.
Seriously.
What is
like,
that?
That just happened.
Like they just discovered fire. It was pretty crazy.
Even the parents were like, "What was that?
Whoa.
What did he say?
What? Oh, that must be
fun.
my
man.
We've
been wanting to say that word for like 20 years, but we haven't.
Now we have permission.
Yeah.
The monster truck driver gave it to us.
The monster driver said it in the car ride home. Oh,
yeah,
no.
exactly.
Here we go.
The 5-year-old.
Let's talk
Mom,
the
we
points.
Were fucking awesome.
Yeah. So Kenny and I kind of finally came up with the point system. So we're all in the same.
Let's explain this really quick.
So first place gets 3 points, 2 points for second, 1 point for third. Okay. So for skills, like Jacob, you won, so you got 3, and then Brandon, you came out second, you got 2, and then Josh got 1. So then we're moving into racing again. Jacob won it 1, so he now has 6 points. Bigfoot was second, and then you were third, so that's 3 and 3. So going into freestyle. It was going to be overall was probably going to be Jacob unless like something wild happened where like you placed 4th or whatever, like didn't do a full run or anything. So overall going in tomorrow, Jacob's leading with 8 points, Brandon's leading with 6, and then third is Bigfoot with 4 points. So. But it's anybody's game again tomorrow for like the actual overall for the weekend.
Because we're starting at 0 though, right?
Yeah, you start. You start 0 for the. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is just because now we have a point system. We're like,
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's bitching.
And I just think it's an easy way to kind of like track it, so that now we know and now it just takes me not fucking up the graphics on the Instagram. Whoops. Yeah, I never done that. No, it's fine.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Brandon
well,
knows.
I mean, we was in Havasu, and he put up, Mona, and
Yeah,
it's like,
that was my bad.
Well, and then
Mona anymore.
Justin was driving both trucks.
That was not us. That was not us.
Wait,
I'm taking that over though.
On the big screen when they would do the
we
driver
didn't make
interviews.
that.
No, I'm
and
doing
stuff,
the graphics
they'd
next
put up
year.
No, I wasn't us.
I'm doing that. I'm not going to say
Justin
who it
was doing
was.
double duty on like his second weekend ever.
He's double driving.
It's pretty impressive.
I'll tell you though, when you see someone legitimately double drive, you're like, damn.
That's
Okay.
Rudy, man. Rudy double drives
Dude.
a lot. Josh has done it for me. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I hurt my back
in Missouri. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was at a Bill Payne show and he drove 4 trucks in one show. He was so angry where he made all,
and broke every single one of them.
and then was like fucking fix it and like left.
Yep.
And we were all like, oh, what the fuck?
I remember Juan Munoz telling me that story.
Dude.
Everyone's like, Bill, do not ever touch another truck again.
Yep,
We're done with this.
Dude, he's like, fuck all you guys. You're sitting out. I'm going to drive all these trucks. Everyone drove for intros, and then after that he drove, hop out, drive, hop out, drive.
And every one of them he left in shambles. They come back on a hook.
California kid's already like, sketchy, right?
Yeah.
It's already sketchy. Like if you have a monster stroke where the only way out is up, sketchy. You know what I mean? Like you need stop. And then so dude, no shocks like on the left side. It's all fucking broken. Rockstar lost a wheel. I was like, oh my god, this is terrible.
Where was this?
I don't fucking remember.
I thought it was Phoenix.
It might have been Arizona.
Oh
yeah, for
my
the fair.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for the fair.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
45-minute show.
Dude.
Just trashed
37 minutes was just Bill Payne driving.
Yeah. It took 45 hours to put it back together, but we got a 45-minute show.
Yeah. Oh shit. That was wild.
The most hated podcast.
Yeah.
By other drivers of other tours or owners.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this though.
They just hate what we got. That's all it is.
Yeah, they're jealous. That's the thing. They're jealous.
Rubbing peanut butter and jealous all over his dick.
What?
Bro, you ain't seen the interview?
What interview is that? Oh, the interview. Oh, the movie. I seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. He says that?
Yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
My bad.
I'm too old.
Epic. Love that movie. You used to
great.
fall asleep to that movie.
It's a
every
movie
night.
making fun of Kim Jong-un, so you got to watch it.
It is a good
perfect.
movie.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so
that
controversial
no, I saw that
some
with
theaters didn't even
It
play
was, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Franco
Rogen.
and
Yep.
Seth
Yep.
Rogen.
Yep,
Yeah,
Seth Rogen.
okay. No, I did see that.
That's right. Some
haven't seen
theaters
it in
didn't even
a long
show
time,
it.
though.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. It was
That's
very,
funny.
it was weird. It's a good movie. Let's take a commercial break. Let's just listen from Mammoth Headwear. This podcast is brought to you by Mammoth Headwear. Guys, if you got a big head like me, then you need a big hat. Go over to Mammoth Headwear right now where you're going to see some amazing styles of all types of different hats. Whether you'd like snapbacks, trucker hats, or even if you just like sweet performance hats that you can play golf in, Mammoth Headwear's got you covered, guys. With sizes starting at 7 3/4 all the way up to the big-ass sizes of your big head, you guys got to check them out. Use my code Tyler10 for 10% off your entire order. Whether it's a hat, a t-shirt, stickers, or a little bit of all of it, you're going to get 10% off your entire order. They got a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like your hat for whatever reason, send it back to them and they're going to give you your money back, no questions asked. With free shipping on all U.S. standard orders, there's no reason you can't try a Mammoth hat. Use my code Tyler10 for 10% off Mammoth Headwear. And we're back. Kenny adds in.
You got to give me a little bit more time.
Oh.
And now we got to shoot video ads for Mammoth.
Oh, it's fine. Just put the logo. It's no big deal.
Okay, cool.
So this is the second to last show of the first leg of the tour.
Yeah.
And
well,
Kenny and I recapped the all the shows up to now, but I want to know your guys' kind of feedback on how the tour's been going. It's a 10-year anniversary tour. It's been changed. A lot of things have changed. What is your guys' feedback so far?
Well, I'll go first. So I've been with you guys going on 3 years now.
yeah.
I know Jacob's been a lot longer, but by far, epic. And I work for a lot of other promoters. And yeah, for sure, like this year is just, there's something special about what we got going on. I feel like everybody is just working together. It's not us versus them, and it's just been great.
Yeah.
And I feel like all of the shows have like reflected that, like for sure. Like all the drivers work together. You guys work with us to help us out and make things work. And no, it's been great. By far the best tour that I've been a part of in 3 years.
Super
So
cool.
It's great.
And I'm 99% sure he's not just saying that because he's got a handful more shows with us. But no, I'm just
No, but it's
I'm
true.
totally kidding about that. But it's so funny that you say that because the topic of our conversation at the end of the night when you guys are either thrashing and working on stuff or we do a weekly ops meeting on Zoom that covers the entire country and everything like that. And we also have to fill out feedback forms on each of the shows that we do have to get to. We have to. They're hard, but
It's 8 questions.
and they're hard. But anyway,
It is hard to kind
Kenny
of come
was
up with
never
it.
good.
well,
honestly.
yeah, exactly. To not do
Yeah.
the exact same thing on
That's
everything.
true.
But that is the theme right there. Is it's just like, oh my gosh, like everybody, like there's suggestions coming instead of bitching coming.
Yeah.
And I'm not focusing on anybody else, but there's always been just a little bit of an outside thing, and the culture that you guys have, and again to use Caden's word, the culture that you guys have over there, and I'm sure you get a little frustrated, which is probably critical. It's probably important that like we do certain things that make things difficult for you, and we understand that but
Well, I think
but
with
it
any
doesn't
job, you
show
have
up
that.
everything.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we could be hanging.
It gets rough when we're out there trying to put on the best show.
Yeah.
And then our truck's broke, and I don't know how many weekends like me and Brandon both, Josh. We're up till 4. You guys are long gone.
Yeah.
And
Right.
we're up 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we're like, man, the sun's coming up. We got to get a couple hours of sleep, and then we're out all day long thrashing,
Right.
getting trucks ready. And that's just people don't see that and they don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
We got multi-million-dollar rigs rolling up and down the highway, and I mean our pay's fair, absolutely. But anything could go wrong at any moment, and we could lose all of it.
Right.
And then we might never be able to come back and run with you guys and stuff like that.
For sure.
So a lot of people don't see that and they don't understand that. But it's like I told Brandon, you got to want this job.
Right.
You got to want it all the way down to your bones because
Mm-hmm.
it's rough. And when it gets ugly, it can get ugly quick.
Yeah.
And if you absolutely hate it, it could be hell on earth for you.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you definitely don't do it for the money, that's for sure. I watched the sun come up in Havasu.
Well,
worked on the truck all night long.
Yeah.
That's the
Friday.
funny thing about it is that you and Justin have had to go home and make money to pay for the parts, like in between all these runs that like we're staying out on the road for the most part, and as well, Josh hasn't been home for, thank goodness, home came to him a little bit, but yeah, no, and we're able to stay out, we're able to do that kind of stuff, but like the tedious little things that we do, like there's hard parts on our job. Mine's the first 10 minutes of every show.
Yeah.
I don't like everything weighing on me and not being able to count down from 10 and saying full boogie tit twice back to back. That sucked. But
You know what? You kidding? No one's ever called me full boogie tit. It's always been full tits boogly.
right,
Or,
I know,
or full what? Boogie
and
what?
I don't know. I have no idea where that came from. But anyway, let's not go down that road because that's.
I mean, it's fair. I picked a weird name. It's fair.
No, I love it, dude.
I do
like I
too.
said, man,
I always
that
have.
skit that we did
Oh,
in
man.
Oh, the
Man.
TikTok.
Havasu
Oh, dude.
was epic. Dude,
was so
I,
good.
seriously, like my
Makes
buddy,
me
my
think
best,
twice
my,
about
be-
washing my
my
truck,
childhood
but-
best friend. My childhood best
Jacob
friend,
may disagree.
like showed me your TikTok like long before I ever even dreamed I'd be doing monster truck stuff,
Yeah.
and you were doing the burn it down thing, and like ever since I got into it, and I met the Swansons, and Eric was running your sticker on his truck and stuff. I was just like, man, like one of these days, I hope I can finally get good enough that I can
just
get
told
that
him
full
on the
boogie
prior
tilt.
episode, I said, everybody wants to be in a video. And I've known you, like we're brothers now, and I never dared to ask. And it just all came together in.
Well, that
in
video was
Havasu.
fun because it was like I knew we wanted to make a video, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then when I saw you washing the truck, I was like, I'm just gonna go film some shit, maybe get inspired. And when I filmed that the brush scene in slow motion, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on.
the other
gonna
side
take
of my
this-
mind's
we're
taking
gonna-
And
over
then
now.
Take this to the
I
dark
started
side.
started explaining the idea to Brandon. He's like, "Oh, it's like Grown Ups too. Like when all the creepy guys go to wash
Yeah.
the car,
Yeah.
instead
They
of the
pull
hot
in for the
cheerleaders."
girls, but they ended up getting guys.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay. And then when I was editing it, and Kitty and I talked about this on the last episode, I was like, if we're gonna do it though, like you have to commit.
Go all
You
in.
have to go all in.
Full lip bite from
Yeah.
Bigfoot over there.
You have to go full boogie dick is what you got to do.
Well, because if you don't, it looks shitty.
Right.
Like, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
like you go full sexy. You got to go all the way in.
I mean, I definitely look over my shoulder every time I'm wiping the truck down now, like, making sure that all right, nobody's behind me. We're good. I can bend over and wipe this down real quick. It's all right.
Dude, yeah, that was a great video. That was super fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, ever since like my buddy showed me your videos and stuff, like, and I got into this and finally got to meet you
Dude.
and stuff, I was like, man, like I hope one of these days I can get good enough I can get that full Boogie Tilt approval
Dude, I don't
stamp on my truck.
Anybody who wants to run my stuff, I'm like, yes, please, let's do this because it's fun because like I've been to a lot of shows and trying to like film and do stuff and like a lot of people like promoters like they were like, no, you got to get out of here. Like, oh, they just kind of wrote me off. And then like when I met Skylar last year, he was like, oh yeah, let's do this shit. Like let's do some shit and have some fun. And it was great, dude.
Best decision you ever
different.
made.
It's different too,
Yeah.
Like you gotta add different things into the show format and stuff like that.
And it's fun.
Bring in different personalities.
Yeah.
Right.
There's not very many people that would relax, cut back, and do the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
and everything else.
Dude,
you know.
there's
a lot of people
rodeo clowns,
that are all
rodeo
more
clowns.
about like
Seriously.
the job. You know, we got to
Yeah.
do the job.
Well, that's what's funny, like because
but
everyone.
why not make the job fun?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And so like during the show, like I'm like I'm doing all this shit, but like I'm still like helping Kenny run the entire show.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
like I'm still running the
Super
RI,
critical. Yeah.
the lights,
Yeah.
timing, like, and then not only that, but then people are like, oh yeah, he's the rodeo clown. I was like, yeah, I'm the rodeo clown during the show, but like weeks before, I'm like, I had to make all the ticketing site, and I had to like set the show up, like call the shitter companies to make sure we had porta potties, like
Right.
all this shit, like the
No,
people
it's
that like
true.
those seats,
It's
like.
super true stuff.
I'm
I
fucking- during the
refuse
that's
to
why
do.
I think that's why I have so much fun during the show because like I don't have to do all that shit. I
Right.
can just be full Boogie Tilt and it's like
Yeah.
just have fun.
That's kind of like how it is for us.
Yeah.
We're kind of at the point where we're like, all right, we're done working on trucks. I think we're ready to go. Let's just go have some fun.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
strap in, you're like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I bet. Yeah.
And then when it breaks, it's like, oh well, damn it.
Damn
I
it.
thought I had it fixed.
Well,
No, but that's what's cool. Like this year, we've been running with all great guys. Like just everybody just has a great personality.
yeah.
And it's just it's fun to be around everybody, and everybody like helps each other. But then we all push each other,
I mean,
to put on a
Totally.
better show. And like I said, this year for sure has been better than I think all years
Yeah.
prior.
I think I've-
what's your opinion, Jacob?
to add on to Brandon, like for instance, none of us, well, other than Brandon, I know Brandon has in the past, but like me and stuff, never met Josh before.
Yeah.
I've heard so many things about him.
Yeah.
Never met the guy before.
Yeah.
all bad things.
And and you would think,
He's gonna
you
get
know,
his
the month and a
chance.
half we've been doing this tour, 2 months or so, like you'd think he's been out here on the West Coast with us since day one
Yeah.
for
Absolutely.
years,
Right.
Because everything's just clicked together.
Yeah.
And like Brandon said, everybody's here just kind of trying to help each other out. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, that's
And-
like how that's like
that's the old monster.
Yes,
truck
exactly.
world
Exactly.
Right there.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like that was the mentality forever.
And
And-
it just seemed like the more people that got involved in this sport that have sponsorships and they have big money to back them, kind of push that out.
Yeah. Because
So
then it
it's
was
nice.
more I, me,
exactly.
me. Yeah.
So it's nice you come. Not that you guys are any smaller than anything, but you come to these littler shows and all that they get pushed out, and it's like, no, we want guys. You know, Skylar said it a million times. We want guys that everybody gets along with because it just makes the show fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We come out here, we're out on the road all year long.
Yeah.
Why dread it? You know,
Yeah.
Right.
let's find people to make it fun.
Well,
Yes.
and the crowd, I definitely can see it like this year for sure. I mean, the crowd definitely
Oh.
picks up on it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I think so too. Well,
I never noticed that before, like, because I was never really looking for that before.
right.
But no, it's contagious for sure.
Well, and we're all fan based here. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
We get done running a truck. Hey, pause for emphasis. Let the announcer get in there. Let
Yep.
Kenny get in there and be like,
Absolutely.
hey, this is who this is. Like, get loud for him. Like,
Yep.
if the crowd is not participated in, the show can go downhill very quick.
Yes.
Totally.
I agree.
And I think we've all ran for some people that
That doesn't really
it
matter.
happens all the
Yeah,
time. It's
right.
just like, well, we hate being here.
And
This
we're
is
giving them
ridiculous.
all our secrets right
Yeah.
now, but they'll never listen to the full Boogie Tilt podcast.
No, dude. No, I think that, well, and what I,
Kenny's gonna get kicked off the show. He's
I am.
against,
Yeah,
he's
Josh,
against blacking
you're up.
stuff
You're
out.
taking my spot.
Like,
what I like though is like the 10-year anniversary tour, like in the off season when we were talking about like, okay, what are we gonna do? It was like, okay, we need to expand the fan experience more.
Yeah.
Like, for the VIPs, like
I just came up with a great idea. Hold on, sorry not to interrupt.
Oh.
Let's do this.
My fucking ass is killing me sitting on this thing. You need full Boogie Tilt fucking seat cushions, bro,
oh,
to
dude,
sell.
I've actually thought about
Brilliant.
doing foam fingers that can also fold over and the parents can just sit on it when the
Like
kids.
put a finger up your bum.
That's exactly
hold
where
on.
my mind just went.
well,
yeah, what?
yeah,
all right.
no, exactly.
I don't know about that. Full Boogie Tilt
Because he's got a sticker
seat
that
cushion.
says
Do
"Put
the
your
fingers
ones
for
up."
something else.
Well,
bro.
I was wanting to do like the put your ones up sticker as a foam finger, and my idea was not being weird like you guys, but my idea was
I was
like the
thinking
kid
that
would
one.
the kid would buy it, or the parents would buy it for the kid, and the kid
Foam
would
finger.
get, like throw it like I'm done with it, and the parent would just sit on it like, oh, now it's a seat cushion, it's a double.
Yeah.
you're lost, Jim.
But now once you said the
Oh, no,
finger
I-
thing,
I-
I'm fucking
yeah.
out. I'm not doing it.
Full
I,
Boogie
I
Tilt
think two separate things.
proctologist.
That's more money. That's more
fair.
money.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dude, the seat cushion idea is not
Dude,
bad.
yeah.
It's
my
not
ass
bad.
would use
It's
it
not
right.
bad. No, stadium seats.
But no, for the 10-year anniversary tour, the one thing that I made a point to like Skylar and Kaden and Kenny and everybody. I was like, this year's got to be different for the fans and for all the competitors. Like
Exactly.
different track every weekend, and like we have better jumps.
Mhm.
I think we're finally figuring out how we want our angles, and also
With you guys' input. That's
the
great.
other thing, because last
So
year
cool.
on the shows that I did with you guys, it wasn't never really. I mean, I'm sure you guys walked the track on your own time, but like,
Oh yeah,
it was,
no, it definitely like we weren't like really involved.
no, but there's
Right.
been a bunch of times I'm like, you guys want to go look at the track? Like, this is the time to change shit. Like, and in Kennewick, like, it was already painted and everything was good. Like, we're like, all right, this is gonna be the show. And then Brandon was like, dude, that middle ramp's it's not gonna work. Like, I just don't like the angle of it. Like, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, you're right. So I went over to Skylar and I was like, hey, you can veto this, but I'm going to go cut that fucking jump. Like, I think we can just fix it. And Jeremy he already painted it. He was like, all right. So he gets in the loader, and Jeremy's
He's
so fast.
right there, by the way. Just
Dude, and
saying.
so he cuts it perfectly, and I was like, I'm not even going to paint it. We'll just chalk it and fucking leave it.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a great hit.
Yeah.
Well,
once
but the
we
thing
fixed
about it is Brandon, the way I heard how he put it, and he's like, we'll hit what you build, but for the fans, like, we can do this much better if you put just a touch more slope in it.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. I can't remember. Yeah, and then he
Dude,
broke his truck on him. But
I've
anyway.
always said, I mean, granted, I don't want to be up all night working on my stuff, but I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. You know, if it didn't break on one hit, it's going to break on the next. So,
Yeah. Well, there's a fine line between making it like too mellow and then like stupid aggressive. Like, that's not going to work. Like,
well, yeah, I mean,
know.
it's got to be,
Yeah.
got to be right.
Well,
you
at the end
know?
of the
And
day-
this year for sure has been awesome, and like
yeah.
you guys being willing to take
But
our
you guys
input and
are
stuff.
also creative about how you give input too, and everything is about how
You mean
like
you
the
mean
old.
just like saying this fucking sucks? That's,
I was
There's
gonna say,
that,
I thought
but-
I was pretty blunt. Like, hey, that's fucking stupid. We need to change that.
Yeah,
Like,
okay, fix it.
but okay.
What I heard from the way you put it is basically like we can do better with this instead of idiots.
Well, and we've had a few sellouts, or two sellouts, but we've had really
Sold
close
out.
to sellouts.
Sellouts.
Sold out?
Sellout sounds
Sellout's
bad.
a different
All right,
thing.
my bad.
Yeah, no,
so
you're fine.
we've had a
don't
few
like
sold out
sellouts.
shows. Is that better?
yeah.
And we've had a couple like so damn close to selling out, and those shows, like, we're like, all right, and I think you guys can agree, like, everyone has this other energy of like when there's a shitload of people here, like, all right, we're gonna turn it up, you know, and like that's cool for like the 10-year anniversary tour. Like, we've done St. Louis style racing. Like, when's the last time y'all did St. Louis style racing?
Never.
Like, it's
never.
been a while. Jacob,
Never. I
probably a
worked for
while.
a lot of.
That's the first time I think I've ever done St. Louis style.
Yeah.
racing.
That's amazing.
But like even like
It's
on
brilliant.
TV, they don't even do it anymore.
No, they don't do it. Yeah, and
know,
it's such
so-
it's such a unique, it's because you're just turning away. But like the straight stretch, like flooring it, it's kick ass. Like as far as from like a fan perspective, it's really cool to see that.
All we got to do is throw in the Insanity style racing.
I know.
I love that you love that.
We'll
I
do it
love that
again.
you love that
Schedule.
because I'll tell you what. Well, and Aaron Basil is going to be the same way. Like, we're not doing Insanity style because you and he just freaking you figured it out and you know how to run Insanity style. Like
I thought
you
about doing a
cracked
different
the code.
style where you guys, start on the backside of the racing lane, right? And you go up the backside, then you turn in like you would Insanity, and then you go to Chicago kind of thing. So it's like Insanity, but with the backside.
You'll test that in Beam.
Which now, granted,
Instead of starting on the rollers,
yes,
you just start on the backside of the racing.
yes. Now the cons to that is that the backside of the racing lanes. But you guys have already done
After
skills at that point.
it's kind of whatever.
It's whatever, huh? Yeah. I'll tell you though, this dirt here in Tremonton, once
amazing.
once it's gotten
If you
like
can get
some,
it watered and everything perfectly
Yeah.
fine,
It's like-
they can get packed and real nice.
yeah. So it's good. Tomorrow, I think is going to be even better. Like when you actually pack it in, it's already turning into clay, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. My favorite part is that, dude, they took fucking like 30, maybe like 20 minutes to grade that front, and then
We destroyed it in one.
in intros drifting on it. I was like sick, and then donuts right on it. I was like, all right, this is rad.
Yeah.
Hey, Skyler said this is our area to do donuts.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
So
It's not as bad as last weekend when you guys were just fucking hitting the tough truck ramps to make them flat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, really?
I couldn't see
I
the ramp. I
believe
kept hitting the
there
brake.
may be
I couldn't
video
feel it.
evidence.
Maybe one time after the fourth time, I was like, stage already, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I was literally laughing so hard as I was almost in tears. These guys were cracking me up.
Dude.
I'm like, I knew what they were
Well,
doing the
over
whole
the
time.
on the radio, it was like, these assholes. Look at these
They're
guys,
like, fuck that staging bump.
dude.
Hey,
yeah.
but it's weird though. On the second night, we didn't have that. What happened?
Because they're like, they're gonna take them out anyway. I'd rather add the dirt somewhere else.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I mean, we probably should get these other guys in here, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
let's do it.
Yeah.
So here's
I was
this.
invited
This is
onto
the thing.
this,
I
but
just wanted to share
Josh
one.
was supposed to be
I just
on
wanted
here,
to
and I'm
share
taking
one
up
more
his
little
time.
thing, but I'm sure the drivers want to hear a lot more, or the listeners want to hear a lot more from the drivers than they do from me. So I think I should give Josh this.
Okay.
And then let you continue on with these guys.
All
but
right.
I do want to just share one thing that made a whole difference in my life is when I went out and did the Midwest tour, which Brandon and I did. It was the coolest thing ever because I stayed at his house, and I've never been to a driver's house.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 9 years of doing this. And anyway, Brandon tells me, he's like, because I'm texting him, I'm like, hey, I'm in Rock Springs. I should be there about this time and everything. And he's like, cool, we're making tacos and Jake's here. Or Jacob, yeah, Jacob's here. And I'm like, really? So cool, because I'm a huge fan of Jacob, which someday on the Full Boogie Tilt podcast I'm going to do. I've never released it, but I've got I did a podcast with Jacob and Sam
Oh, okay.
and Scott Anderson. Like, I'm going to put that out there too.
Do
like
it.
we sat down there and we did a thing, and I've got to find the audio on it, but we'll release it here.
Let's do it.
But it was Jacob's early on, super early on, and hearing that story. But anyway, so I stayed at Brandon's house the first night, and Jacob was there, and Jacob, you told him that I was coming, but he didn't know what Kenny you were talking
Kenny's
about.
coming to hang out, and I'm like, okay, like,
And then I
thought it was
come-
one of Brandon's friends, and he walked through the door. I'm like, oh, Kenny,
That
oh.
So, but that was super cool. Like, and it just put me on a different level with the drivers. And then I went and stayed with the Basils.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, we're going to dinner. They took me to dinner and everything. And then I got a full tour of their shop house and everything. And it's just, I've never involved myself that much. And it just made it different. Like, now we always call it our family, but I've been in your homes now.
Yeah.
That's so freaking wild.
Yeah.
I don't know what other announcer has been blessed to have that.
Right.
And it's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But we should go to a break
Yeah, let's do a
and
break.
let Josh in here.
Yeah.
I think they want to hear from the drivers, not from Kenny.
Okay, Kenny.
I do so much talking. I want to watch
All
this.
right, Kenny.
so-
Well, thanks for being on here, Kenny.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure.
Always
I
my
can't believe that we were finally doing this.
I know, this
It's
is
so
fun.
cool.
It's like I've told Kenny. Kenny makes me look 10 times better than what I really am.
Well, that's what a good
Yeah, he-
announcer does.
yeah.
Absolutely.
He's the
Absolutely.
voice of Monster Truck
I'm just
Insanity
going to
Tour.
say thank you.
All right, let's hear from our sponsor, Super Clean. What kind of guy thinks 2 hours stooped over the hood of his truck, cleaning every nook and cranny is quality time? What kind of guy thinks nothing of a week's worth of dirty dishes piled up in the sink but has the garage floor clean enough to eat off of? Yeah, this is my friend. This is a guy who's got his priorities straight. This is a Super Clean guy. Super Clean's tough task cleaner degreaser, super easy, super fast, super clean. All right, welcome, Josh. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Putting the big input.
Yeah, buddy.
Bigfoot,
So-
big socks, and we'll leave it at that.
So last weekend, Havasu, first freestyle win of the tour.
Yes.
That was pretty kick-ass.
Yeah. For a brand new truck and trying to work the bugs out, it was awfully nice
Yeah.
to get a win, and then to have a surprise fly in
Yeah.
that weekend as well was incredible.
That's pretty
it really
cool.
was.
And
Magical.
your truck's working too now. It's getting there, huh?
It's getting there. I still think there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah.
Watching the video, Kayla took video here tonight and of Jacob, and I go, yeah, I've got a lot to work on when Jacob goes out third and just lays it down. My truck's so different from my old one.
Yeah.
So just learning how that truck reacts,
Mhm.
how it jumps. I mean, I think I'm hitting jumps hard. Then I look at the videos and go, nah,
No.
I can hit them a lot harder.
Yeah. Well, dude, in Havasu, first of all,
I don't think he lifted.
no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Straight.
Well,
Well, what is your guys' opinion when we were like, oh, we're gonna do straight line racing? Like,
I was excited just because we did the practice for the third graders.
yeah.
And I got excited, but I made too many changes.
Oh yeah.
That was my big mistake.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, it did great. If I just do this little tweak,
Yeah.
I'll be untouchable. Yeah. I was untouchable in the back.
The straight line racing was pretty rad because that's old school, dude. Like,
It was definitely one of the better straight lines. I'm going to be completely honest. As being a racer, I care less about straight line.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was the old school stuff where you got 3 rows of like
Yeah.
10 cars and stuff,
Yeah.
like that would be cool. But just any straight line stuff nowadays,
Yeah.
to me, is kind of boring. But
Well-
last weekend wasn't too bad because it was fast.
Yep.
We had nice jumps. And
Dude, it was
everything, so
fast
it was
and like
competitive.
a lot of air.
Well,
Like,
and
it was,
the neat
yeah,
thing
was
about
good.
it was that morning with the third graders, everybody got to watch me do a practice because I was trying to test my truck, and then we made track changes.
Yeah, because
which
we
made
had-
it even better.
Because we had that tough truck roller in the middle.
Yeah.
And then when you landed and like got super sideways, I was like, oh shit. And then basically because you landed and had like a half a second, and then you were in the air again. And then I looked at Josh. Josh was like, yeah, can we take that out? Yeah, let's take that out.
I mean, but yeah, like even Josh said, like me and Brandon and stuff, we were sitting back there and we're like, well, Bigfoot might have just won straight line this weekend because we were like, it is on kill.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That was cool because, well, and what I want to do is I want to be able to, we only get so much dirt in that venue, so we make what we could, but the van stacks were just, they were there, and then like all the moves. And one thing to do, I do want to point out in your freestyle was like, it's like an unspoken rule. Like if an obstacle gets the best of you, you back up and you hit that fucker again like hard.
Yeah.
And you
I don't,
did it
I don't mean
twice.
to bring somebody else onto the podcast, but thank you, Toughest, for that one.
Yeah.
Because Manson's all about that. He's like, nobody came here to watch you not get over something.
Yep.
Back up, hit that bitch again.
Yep.
So,
and you did it. And I was like, yes.
And I try not to back up because once again, on other tours you get docked a lot for backing up. So
Yeah.
I try not to back up. But
When
it's
I
one of those
remember
when you
watching-
don't get over the ramp, you're like, okay, you son of a, we're gonna make this.
Well, and the old school stuff that I grew up watching was like, yeah, like you got docked points for
Yep.
backing up. And
Yep.
I mean, like, I don't know. Nowadays, it's like, it's kind of acceptable, and I know I'm guilty of it. Most of us are, especially in tight areas. Sometimes you hit something so
Yeah.
big that when you land,
Well, especially
You-
being
you
locked
don't
all the
have-
way around too.
yeah, you
Well,
don't have
and
time
you don't know
to get turned
like
around.
when the truck rebounds and does stuff like that. Like I'm more worried about making sure my truck ain't gonna go over than making a turn.
Dude,
So
tonight.
I'm gonna do all that, and then we'll figure out the turn afterwards.
Yeah, though tonight in your skills hit when you went up and you were like still on the face of the jump, and when you went up, I was like, uh-oh.
I did too. Don't worry. I puckered. I was like, she's more past vertical than I'm used to here. So I hit reverse, and then
You
I was
dug.
like, man, the tires came off the ground and everything. And then Josh's girlfriend, Kayla, and then showed me some videos. I'm like, oh wow, like the wheelie bar dug into the ground.
It scooped it.
And then my girlfriend Ainsley, she'd come over and showed me a side video
Yeah.
because Kayla had the back shot.
Oh yeah.
And then Ainsley had the side video of it, and yeah, it dug in and then still brought the tires off the ground. I was like, I was right. It did go. Like, I knew it was more past vertical than I'm used to, though.
I was like, uh-oh. He's
Yeah,
gonna-
I
he
had
might go
that in
over.
reverse and was like, come on, baby, come on.
That was sweet though. That was cool. But yeah, like it's those like the different track designs that we're trying to do, and like just make something else because we don't know if it's gonna work unless you guys hit it.
You don't know unless you try it.
And I've said exactly, and I've said it to you guys a bunch of times. Like we don't drive your trucks. Like so I want you guys to be as involved as possible in decisions. Like hey, like this might work, it might not. Like you guys hit it tonight, and especially we've been really fortunate this first leg of the tour. Like it's mostly 2-day shows,
Yeah.
so we have like that little buffer because 1-day shows like it's a gamble. Like I think it's gonna work,
That,
but
that
like
was
tonight,
like Mona.
yeah, like Mona,
Yeah,
like
well, Friday night
yeah,
in the mud. I love Jacob's response right before freestyle. Anybody else want to drive? Because he ain't breaking anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
But shows
I
that
don't
just-
know. I almost went over.
Well, your
Leave it
your
to
run
Brandon.
in
Leave it to
Havasu the first night.
Oh
That
gosh,
that was crazy because not only do you come out in 2-wheel skills and almost do a double from a slap wheelie to a stoppie and everybody having a heart attack then you come out in freestyle and lay that thing on its side and had Skylar backing up, me having a front row seat in slow motion and literally Skylar backing up 3-4 steps waiting for you to turn into it full power, which you absolutely did. and it literally just started coming off, and you just see Skyler put up his hands and click, you're done.
Dude, then it landed. I was like, oh, thank God, because that was wild.
I don't know about Josh, but like watching Brandon, and I'm sitting in the truck, belted in too. I was like driving Brandon's truck. I was like, oh, come on, turn.
Hitting the gas.
Come on, you got it.
No, I was just praying the whole time. I was like, no, not the new body. I was like, don't shut me off. Please don't shut me off.
Skyler was backing up, and you could tell he was nervous, but he gave you the time.
Yeah.
He had a full bird's eye view, literally, of everything going
He
around.
had more front row seat than we did.
Yeah, and
dude.
we were in our trucks 20
Yeah.
feet away.
Yeah, that was. You could have picked a pack of gum off the floor, dude. Like you were on the
Oh
side.
yeah, no, I picked up like 3 inches of dirt and crammed it in my
Yeah, it
In
was
the rims.
in my rims. Yeah, I had to dismount rims and stuff or tires
Dude.
to power wash out all the mud. Yeah, that was a wild ride. I'm glad it.
But
Glad
we
it panned
the neat thing is that going back to a lot what you guys talked about before I got on, the different aspects of this tour and stuff that we've done, we've all had those little moments.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just those are the things like you coming into my truck in Puyallup. Hopefully I'm saying that
Yeah,
right.
you said it right
Yeah.
second time. You got it.
I was sure not to go out because my truck was not running.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so mad in that truck, and I wasn't going to go and hit the camper. And everybody was telling me to do it, and I was telling my head not to, and you'd stuck your head in just randomly. It's just like, dude, you need to go and hit it. You pulled my rev limiter chip out of my box, and I don't know if that did it, but it gave me just enough. And then here, I forget the fan that recorded it, had just the perfect angle.
Yeah, we
Ends
had a
up-
bunch of people filming
Ends
it.
up posting it. We've got probably 400,000 views on
Yeah.
that video.
Well, I mean,
First-
it's been so long since Bigfoot's seen a camper. Like,
Yeah, no, when I popped in, I told Josh, I was like, dude, like, you better go hit that camper. And he's like, I don't think I deserve it. I was like, dude, no. Like, Bigfoot's got to go do Bigfoot things. Like,
yeah,
you got to
hit
go
that bitch.
demolish that camper. And he did. Nailed
Yeah.
it.
That-
Perfectly.
and it's-
Awesome video.
That is one thing that Darren Basil always said. He's like, you leave a camper out there for me, I'm going to hit it. I don't care when I go. If you don't touch it, I'm going to.
I'm gonna hit it.
You better figure it out. Do you want to hit it or not? Because I will.
Yeah. Well, that was your first time in Puyallup, right?
That was my first time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a totally different world. Well, what's nice that of this year there's different ones that we had 2 shows, which was pretty wild. But we extended the floor space by, thousands of square feet. Like gave you a lot more room to be able to turn around.
I thought it was fun.
Dude,
Yeah.
it
I had a
was.
blast.
It is
was.
fun.
It
It's a great, and it's a very historical venue too. Like Monsters have been there forever, and so to like be able to make little changes that people haven't done ever, to give us the room for you guys to actually turn around, do shit, and actually go hit a camper or whatever. Like that's big. That was cool to see. And the donuts, nasty.
Oh.
Timmy got a nasty set of donuts, dude. I was like, the open diff just it's cooking, dude.
I remember Dawson. I come back and Dawson's like, I thought you had an open front. I'm like, I do. It might not be now, but I do. I did when I started.
Yeah, it was
It's like,
open.
dude, you got spinning.
Yeah,
Oh,
all of them. Like we don't do donuts very often, but when you get it on asphalt with enough room and it's wet, we wetted it down a little bit, dude.
yeah, just watch Brandon's video.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was so scared
He
when you
showed
clipped
me
that
to
car. I was like, oh shit.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, that was nasty. That was a good show. That
Pulling
was
some
fun.
serious G's there, man. Like, seriously, I literally was very dizzy when I came to a stop.
Dude, I was like, you gonna let off? You gonna let off? You gonna let off? Nope. Okay. There's the car. Click. All right, cool. Get out. That was good stuff. Yeah, no, like this whole tour has been kick-ass. You guys have been just giving it all the onions, just having fun, and it shows. Like it's a blast. Like it's hard to be away from home, and we all feel that. But to be able to come out and like Jacob said, like not dread it, like that's cool. That's good shit.
That's what makes it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you answer the phone for certain people and it's like, well, like it would be nice to have this show this weekend, get some extra money, but I know when I see Live a Little on the phone, I'm like,
All right.
like cool, like hey, where do you want me?
Yeah, let's go.
Like, it's,
Yeah.
it's fun, it's exciting. I know Kenny can vouch for me. I've been doing shows with Live a Little from pretty much day one.
Yeah.
I've been here just as long.
Yeah.
It's not quite my 10th anniversary yet,
Yeah.
but it's coming up.
Yeah.
So it's to watch the improvement
Mm-hmm.
from the first year to now I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still fun, and that's one thing, like having Skylar and stuff around, running the floor and stuff like that. It's just laid back. It's fun. Safety is always our number one priority, and we cover that in driver's meeting.
Yeah,
absolutely. But when it comes to show, it's just Skylar comes up all the time. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
He'll come up.
He
and be
was
like,
in there
hey,
twice today.
Go have some fun. We're belted in. We're focused, getting ready to go, and he'll come up, tap you on the leg, be like, man, just go have some fun.
Yeah,
like that's what it's all about. So from being when I first started, and then now, it's amazing how much everybody's grown, and the trucks that they bring in, and how you can keep coming back to the same venues every year. I don't know how many venues we go to for 1 year. It's one guy. You go back the next year, and it's somebody totally different.
Right. Because
they get a bad rep and a bad name, but to come back for 10 years in a row to the same place,
it's pretty cool.
That's impressive.
Like this is my first time in Tremonton, and I've always heard about this show, and like even Dawson's driven this show, and he's like, yeah, dude, it's a banger. Like it's fun.
Absolutely.
And to be here and actually see it all, and then to be like, all right, how do we do it differently this year to really make like 10 years? Because it's not very often you get to do 10 years in the same venue.
Exactly.
Over and over, and have the people still want you to come back.
Yeah, I mean, here, those grandstands back there, they added them, 3 years ago or so?
Yeah.
Because they just couldn't, that was packed. Yeah. And they couldn't do it. So they added a little bit for the next year, and then finally they're like, no, we just got to go. Yeah. And tonight it wasn't. That over here, the West Grandstand's completely full. Tomorrow, it'll look just like that over there.
Yeah, it's going to be rad.
It's these little towns just eat this stuff up.
Yeah,
so.
Especially when you perform a good show that's like it's got some quality. There's some meat to the fat. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, yeah. And then people talk because a lot of these people, this is the only show they see, so they're looking forward to it every year.
Yeah. Well, or what's even more impressive, like I had several people tell me like at pit party that. That they like go to jam and stuff all the time in Salt Lake, and they're like, we like jam, but we come here because it's way more personal. Like we get to actually talk to you guys for a few minutes and stuff like that, and like get to see us after the show and stuff. Right. And so like that to me, that's cool. Like that's something that's pretty wild that we have over. I mean, obviously, the top. Yeah.
And then you've got the other side of that coin. So with me on this side of the tour, being in a Bigfoot truck, I get about a 50-50 mix. You got 50% of the people come up going, I remember this truck as a kid. It's been, 6 years since we've seen you out here, which is awesome that I can bring that out to these people. But then there's the other 50% that go, this is the first monster truck show I've ever been to.
I've had a lot of those this year. Yeah. Like you've never been here before.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and it just, like that side of it to me, I think of when I was a kid and my father brought me to every show in Minnesota that he could, and that's what got me hooked on this.
Yeah. I think we all have those similar stories, especially when we're younger. Of like, this would be like the show that or the thing that we do all the. I mean, the same thing for me and my family. Like we grew up every year. Like we'd go to a Monster Jam in Portland. Like we didn't go do a lot of other stuff, but like every year after fucking Valentine's Day, we were there. And seeing the show, and it was just like you remember those things. But now, like this is. It's fun for me because like what you said, like the interaction, like and I just walk around like during Insanity Fest and like just kind of see everybody and get the vibe, and people, there's a good mix of people like, oh, we come here every year, or like I've never been to a Monster Truck show. Like, well, buckle up because this is going to be bitching.
I've never been to a Monster Jam show until 2016.
Really?
2016 was my first ever Monster Jam show, and it was World Finals.
Oh, sick.
Because they would call us to bring our trucks out to do the display in Vegas.
Yeah.
That was the only reason I ever got to go. Was because of that. But watching, the little shows and stuff that would always come to town, that's all we got.
Yeah.
We didn't get anything else.
Right.
So that's what I grew up on. So then you watch it on TV, of course, But
I'll touch on something that's way crazier than like any of you guys have been around. Probably most monster truck drivers. Like, dude, my parents, like I grew up on a ranch. And like my parents literally never took me to see a show at all as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it a little bit on TV and, grew up playing like Nintendo 64. Like I had Legos and I built monster truck models, had a few monster truck RCs and stuff like that. But I never, ever got to see a single monster truck show as a kid. And so, the first monster truck show I went to, I was going to school in Phoenix for Harley Davidson mechanics, and I went to Chase Field Stadium.
Oh yeah.
To jam, and it was like one of Ryan's first shows.
Yeah.
Brian Deegan was driving Metal Militia, and it was just off the hook, like, you know, like feeling those motors pound the stadium floor, like that was just insane, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I was going to school for Harley Davidson's, like had no idea that I'd ever be here doing this, and you know, like I said, I had a dream, a literal dream. I knew nobody in the industry, had only been to a handful of shows ever, and I had a literal dream about doing this. And I woke up one morning, I told my girlfriend, I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna buy a monster truck. And you know, my parents, my friends, everybody thought I'd lost my mind, and you know, sold some equipment and was able to buy a truck. And luckily, the community is so small and so just awesome and welcoming that you know, I got connected right off the bat, and some great guys, Tyler and Travis Groth, twin brothers.
Oh man,
great guys in the industry. Luckily, they ended up living in my hometown. You know, like 2 years prior to me buying the truck, and taught me pretty much everything I know, and got me pointed in the right direction. You know, and
dude,
now I'm going 3 years strong, and it's just it's awesome. You know, it's been an awesome ride. So, like I said, I have a pretty unique story. Like, and I like that when people ask, like, you know, how'd you get into this? And it's like, well, it's not an orthodox way. Like, I didn't start working on trucks, nothing. Like, I just had a wild dream,
like
and
do it.
And just
that's cool.
And went for it, man.
That's cool, and that's what's cool about this industry too, is that everybody has their unique story on why they got turned on to doing this. Like, you know, and it comes from every corner of everywhere, and that's what's really rad. It's like so diverse, but like you said, like the community is small, and so like, because when I was a kid, I was like, oh man, they're rock stars. Like, there's got to be a billion of them. And then as I get older, I'm like, oh, there's like 40 dudes. And like, it's fucking cool. Like, you know?
Yeah, well, and it was super cool. So, like, after I'd, like, decided I was going to somehow do this, you know, get into this industry, like, I took my parents to their very first monster truck show ever, which was a jam show down in Colorado Springs.
Oh, yeah.
And we drove, like, 4 hours down there, took them to the show, you know, and we were sitting up top. And we're, you know, watching everybody, like, during the show, you know, like, intermission, getting trucks ready, you know, to go out for freestyle and stuff. And me still, like, I've got no idea really about what's going on. Like, I'm a mechanical person, but monster trucks are their own animal. And, you know, I remember telling my parents, I was like, I want to be down there on the floor. Like, that's where I belong. And, you know, like a month and a half later, my dad and I were going to Washington to pick up my truck, and it was just crazy.
Well, and what's crazy too is, like, I like seeing your truck run, like, because it's a historical truck. Like, it's been around, but it's probably it is, I know for a fact, it's the nicest that truck's ever looked. Like, honestly.
Well, I appreciate that.
It really, like, because a lot of people are like, yeah, that truck's like over 20 years old. You're like, what?
Yeah, no, I know.
You
People
know?
ask me that all the time. They're like, how, you know, like, this is brand new, right? It's like, no.
No.
Like, no. Like, it's been redone, but, like, it's, like, legit 20-some years old.
Yeah.
And, people just can't believe it. So.
Well, and what's really funny is to see Dave Smith and Maniac run his truck, and then see your truck knowing that it was Maniac.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty rad. As a monster truck nerd, I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it is. It's way cool. And I remember, like, the twins were helping me, like, go through all my shocks and stuff, and, like, kind of get my truck ready to go. You know, like, we were still working on getting the body all mounted and everything. And we went over to a show in Cheyenne, Wyoming, like 45 minutes away.
That's where I met you.
Yep. And Josh was over there with Mechanical Mischief.
Yep.
And Casey, and I feel like somebody else.
So Austin.
And you're in Austin.
It was all Triple B guys.
Yeah. And everybody had, like, came over to the shop and, like, were getting all oily with us, you know, with me and the twins helping me rebuild my shocks and stuff. And so we went over there and watched their show and stuff. And that was the first time I met Josh. And, you know, we talked then, and it was like, dude, like, hopefully one of these days we'll get to run together, you know. And now it's like, dude, I'm legit gonna be sad, man. Like, when this little first leg of the tour is done and I don't get to run with Josh for God only knows how long again.
Yeah.
So, dude, Josh is the man, dude. Like, he has invested so much time and so much money into parts and tools and stuff in his trailer. Like, he has helped out literally every single one of us on the tour at some point. Like, I mean, Josh is the dude.
Yeah, dude.
I try.
Absolutely, because both Friday and Saturday, if I'm not almost sleeping in his trailer because I'm, like, using tools and stuff like that.
But that's the way I grew up. You know, that's the way my father was. That's the way my grandfather was. You know, if you had the means to do it, you did it.
Right.
And that's one of the things that, you know, coming into the industry and the way my father, you know, brought me up, everything. When he went out and bought something, he always bought two.
Yeah.
It was never just one. And that's one of the things I've tried to do with my program. And I think this tour has shown that I've bought the right stuff because between the welder, the plasma, the torch, the parts, we've kept everybody running this entire tour. And it has been awesome.
Not one performance have we had a truck sit out, and that's awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, man, on my behalf, and I'm sure on Monster Truck Insanity Tour's behalf, Live a Little, dude, seriously, thank you from all of us.
Yeah,
because
man.
you've helped all of us out, and it's been awesome.
So
grateful
to be the one truck that got to come back this year, to this venue and stuff. I didn't realize it really, and then somebody in the pit party come and said, dude, I think you're the only one. And then Kenny had said it too, and I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
Wow. I must have did all right last year then, if they're bringing me back and stuff. But to bring me back with the guys we're running with, it's just well, it hasn't been easy. It's been, these guys have been, because I know usually on the Live a Little tour on the West Coast here, Rat Attack's usually up there, and then these guys are like, no, we're supposed to be up here. It's all right, making me work for it, guys. But
I was saying that because
it's been great.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was thinking about that the other day. I was because all last year, when you guys would go out, I'm like, yeah, Jacob's gonna win this and he's gonna win that, because he's just, you're on kill, you know where that truck is. You're probably I would say the only person that could drive the truck the way that you drive it, because it's so unique and it fits the way you want to roll so good, And then so to come out this year, and then I'm like, oh shit, Jacob didn't win freestyle? Whoa, hold on. This is interesting. No, and then it's been boom, 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 back and forth, dude. It's so cool.
And I've had people be like, well, you're not mad that you lost or anything? No, I'm not mad.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see me get mad because I lost. Because I lost to guys that are they're throwing it down too.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's
Brandon tonight come over to me and be like, I think you should have won freestyle. You definitely had a louder crowd. And I'm like, it don't matter. I'm like, now you get to go last tomorrow, and I get to make you work for it. That makes it funner for me. I'm gonna go lay something down. I want to see if you can top it.
Guess what, Jacob? I'm going third. You're going fourth.
Here we go.
Here we go.
There you go. It's reversed now. Sweet.
No, and that's like what I said. It's awesome, and it's cool when you can be happy for any number of persons that we're running with. Everybody's just great, and you're all I'm always happy to congratulate somebody else for throwing down an awesome run. I want to win.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna drive my shit as hard as I possibly can and still make it through the next show.
Yeah.
But I want to win, because obviously that means that the crowd's loving what they're seeing. And, I'm still new enough into this. I've got a resume to build, I'm nowhere close to where I want to be.
Yeah.
And so literally every weekend I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to get better. And, so running against Josh and Jacob, these guys have way more time, in the seat than I do. And so, to be even running close to them and sometimes pulling off what I think is a fair win, is pretty crazy, and so I said, it's just great to run with guys and hey man, when you guys win, I'm just as happy for them to win as I am, when I win myself. So it's awesome.
We're all competitors, so we all do want that win,
of course.
But some want it more than others and stuff. But it's like Brandon said, he's got a resume to build. You're building it. Trust me, you're building it, man. You like Tyler said, you got a clean piece. She's always beautiful, wiped down, clean. I know my old girl's gotten a little more raggedy and everything else, but
no, this year it looks really good.
She's still out there running, but it was funny because out here on the West, I'm sure quite a few people know about me and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But you go back east and they're like, I don't know this guy. And then Josh, the first time I meet Josh in Puyallup, he comes over to me and be like, man, I just want to see if I can beat that Corvette. And I'm like, wait, so you know who I am, huh? He's from Minnesota and stuff.
Yeah.
But, so I was like, all right, well, I guess my name's gotten out there a little bit over there,
And if we only knew each other more at the
no
toughest
kidding.
tour of the
No
year
kidding.
before, we would have gotten into so much trouble.
Literally, we were at the same show last year, the Grand Forks, North Dakota show. We were at the same one. I really don't remember seeing him.
Yeah.
And everything else, but then after talking about what he experienced there and me being there and stuff like that. And yeah, we're just like, man, if only we knew each other like we do now.
Yeah.
Like back then.
It would have been a different story.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We would have had so much fun at everybody else's expense.
Yeah.
It would have been an epic weekend.
Well, dude, hey guys, thanks for being on the show. This is awesome. We're out of time, but I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know it's late. You guys did a whole show today, but dude, this is awesome. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll do more. And the fact that we were able to film it and put it on YouTube so everyone can kind of see the whole vibe that we're creating is cool. So I appreciate you guys being on. Kenny, you're behind the camera now, but thanks for producing this, being the best co-host. And don't forget to like us on Instagram and YouTube and all that jazz. And y'all burn it down. Have a good time. See you later.